So yan, for this video, we will have another series that talks about ANOVA. Meron tayong tinatawag na one-way ANOVA. Tapos yung one-way ANOVA na yon, it establishes a relationship between the dependent variable and independent variable. So this is used lalo na sa mga quantitative researchers wherein meron tayong mga values ng numbers na pwede natin evaluate. Ganun. So let's start. So this is an example of an ANOVA table. The objective of this series is to discuss each part of that ANOVA table. So for this video, let's start with the source of variation. Source of variation is the reasons of differences seen in the values observed in a variable. Ang ating karaniwang source of variation is ang ating treatment. Also, meron tayong tinatawag na experimental error that I also discussed in one of my videos. So if you are not familiar with that term, just go through that video and let that explain for you. And let me discuss the degrees of freedom. In my past video, this is the ANOVA table, and it may be overwhelming to start, but then let me discuss it one by one para magkaroon tayo ng deeper understanding when it comes to the terms that are associated sa ating ANOVA. So degrees of freedom refers to the maximum number of logically independent values, which are the values that have the freedom to vary in a data sample. So dyan sa ating ANOVA table, meron tayong formula for DF, which is sa treatment, T minus 1, sa experimental error, N minus T, and sa ating total is N minus 1. For example, meron kang 5 na treatments, tas meron kang 4 na replications. I-multiply mo yon, that will be your N. And in that case, it is 20. Whereas yung T mo is the number of treatments that you have. And in the example that I discussed, T is equal to 5. Another important term in your analysis of variance is the sum of squares. So from the term itself, you will just square all of the values that you will be observing, then you will just add it. So in this ANOVA table, we have treatment, TRSS, experimental error, SS or ESS, and total SS. So yung total SS, every values in your results table, for this example, yan, lahat ng values dyan, you will square it and you will add it. So, sobrang haba ng calculation yan. But you can use Excel. You also have the TRSS or treatment SS. The TRSS, when you average per treatment, the average, you will just square each one of that and just add it. And lastly, for experimental error SS or ESS, you will just find the difference between the TSS and TRSS. So, ayun lang yan. Sa ating ANOVA, meron tayong tinatawag na MS or mean square. So, in my past videos, we have already discussed kung ano yung source of variation, DF, at saka yung SS. So, now in this video, we will focus on MS or what we call the mean squares. When you have already found your DF and SS, madali na lamang ito. So, ang MS natin is ang ating sum of squares, i-divide mo lang siya sa DF. So, ayun na yun. So, for MSTR or the mean square of the treatment, ayan. So, TRSS divided by T minus 1 lang yan. Then, yung MSE ay ESS divided by N minus T. So, you will just divide yung kung ano yung nasa column ng SS, i-divide mo lang siya sa DF. So, for this video, we will talk about F computed value and the F tabulated value. So, ang ating FC or ang ating F value that we are computing is just MSTR, i-divide mo lang siya sa MSE. Yung F-tab naman is, that is a tabulated value. That is a tabulated value wherein you can find it in the F-table. I will put a link sa ating comment section para magkaroon kayo ng access sa isang website. So, yun. Ngayon, how will we reject or accept our hypothesis using those values? So, this is the principle. In general, kapag yung F-computed value mo is mas malaki kumpara sa F-tabulated, you can reject your null hypothesis. If you are not familiar with null hypothesis states that there is no significant difference among your treatment. Para siyang ganun. So, when the FC value is larger than your F-tabulated value, you can reject that hypothesis and say that we have sufficient evidence that there is a significant difference among your treatment.